Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptomancer, where we feature content on play to earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And today I wanted to just do a quick video talking about the games within the game of Splinterland. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I come from recently playing a mobile game. Um, that shall not be named, but Bulldog might be familiar with it. But it was a game where, once you got into playing the game, it became, over time, quite stale because there wasn't much to do in the game, and the developers didn't add a lot of new game modes or features or enhancements. And as a player of the game, when you get invested in it and you play it a lot, you want to continue to find ways to immerse yourself in the environment and to continue to enjoy and play the game. Well, what is great about Splinterlands, and I think the dev team here, is there's already a lot to do in the game if you want to, right? You don't need to spend, you know, 8 hours a day in Splinterlands necessarily, but when you're here and when you are in the game, there's plenty to do. And let's kind of talk about the many things that can be done in the game and the reasons why you might want to do those or they might be enjoyable. So obviously there's ranked battles in the game here. So I'm currently in gold 3 and just completed my daily quest for the day to get the loot chest from that. And obviously the enjoyment of that is to challenge yourself in a P2P environment and understand strategies, understand the meta, and be efficient in your wins, getting your daily loot chest, keeping your ECR at a good level, and getting a lot of DEC and climbing the ranked rewards. There's also tournaments in the game, which are quite rewarding. Here, I'm not even sure how I'm doing. I think I'm already out of this tournament. Yeah, here's a tournament. I finished in 80th place, but it wasn't a good showing. But I still almost tripled my entry fee and won, I don't know what, 9 SPS, right? So not terrible. Tournaments are definitely fun, and there's a lot of rewards, especially if have a lot of assets invested in this game. Here's an example. There's Diamonds to the Victor event. There's $11,000 being rewarded in this tournament that's happening, in just a couple hours, right? So it's a 62 SPS entry fee in this case. There's only 60 players entered, and more than the top 50% are going to quadruple their money. So they're going to enter for roughly $30, and the top 50% in this tournament are going to walk away with a minimum of $125. So it's a great incentive to continue to build assets. You can see here, I have not nearly enough power to get into that tournament, but it's something I can aspire to and keep working at the game, keep playing the game, and growing my assets in the game to be able to play in these tournaments and win rewards. There's also the game mode for Brawls, right? So guild battles, where you can enter your brawl battles, and we can see here we can win the Gladius cases through merits and brawl battles, which is another way to increase your collection power and to continue to grow your collection. And these are kind of the default game modes that one would think of when you think of playing Splinterlands. But there's also a lot of overlooked games within Splinterlands itself. If you look at the game of Splinterlands, obviously it's a game for entertainment, but the games within the game really have to do with earning money, because this is a play to earn game. And how can we earn money by playing the game? Well, there's the rental market for one, right? So if we're increasing our collection and being smart about rentals, we can earn money every day renting out our cards. And the game within the game here could be the timing of your rentals, based on where we are at in the rental season. Like obviously it's much more positive EV to rent cards towards the end of the season or the last day of the season, especially gold cards with collection power. and maximizing how you rent out your cards using tools like Peak Monster's auto rental features and bids. So making sure that every day you're passively earning max income on parts of your collection that you may not be using or may be more effective to rent with rather than play with. So effectively using your assets in the game on the rental market can definitely burn some time in the day, and your reward for doing that is essentially DEC or dollar rewards. And for some that can be very rewarding to see those rewards add up daily, every day, and reinvesting those rewards. For example, let's take just as an example. Let's say you were to pull Generoshanus from a daily loot reward pull. If you rented that card out on a daily basis, let's say you're making, in this case, 13 cents a day just for that one card. If you rented it out, every day you can come in here and buy a Pelacor mercenary or two with that passive income as an example. So that could be one way, the game rewards you for playing. Secondly, you can go and do card flipping. Right? You can go on to a site like Peak Monsters or the marketplace here manually and kind of curate and see where there are good deals, where there's good BCX value on, for example, alpha or beta cards, where you can take a card, maybe you buy it for $10 and immediately relist it for 12 or 15. You obviously have to keep the market fees of 5% sales fees in mind, but you can definitely spend time browsing the market, understanding the market, and card flipping, and that can be fun. It's essentially like day trading stocks, where you're day trading in-game NFT assets within Splinterlands, and that can be quite enjoyable for players to do that because it's not a game mode per se, but it is a game because it's challenging you to increase your assets and your funds, and then you can choose to certainly do whatever you want with that, pull it out, reinvest, what have you. There's also the game of card investment or speculation, especially with Chaos Legion coming out, with new summoners being available, new metas coming our way. Like we just had featured, during the last town hall on last Friday, the reveal of a new water summoner and a new fire summoner. So speculating on what their abilities may be and how that may impact existing card prices could be something that you might want to, for example, acquire, like a card like the Pelacor Bandit for 10, in this case, for sale, for 17 cents each. Maybe that in 6 weeks is worth more based on your analysis or speculation. Um, maybe there's a card combination that you're aware of that many aren't aware of that you think will become popular in the meta, and you scoop up bases of that card knowing that others may look to scoop it up in the future. That card investment speculation, as a game within the game. And then there's also, last but not least, the game of the community and social aspect, creating content for the game, posting it on Splinter Talk, talking about your game experiences, your game journey, art contests, other things that inspire you within the game. You can blog about, write about, record videos on, and earn cryptocurrency via SPT tokens. So again, it's extending the time you spend in the game and your knowledge of the game and being rewarded for that. And let's talk about the future, because here's where I think it's very important to note is that there's even more coming to this game that's going to potentially take up more of our game playing time and being, quote, more sticky in the game, meaning more daily active users, longer sessions, more sessions, right? These are all good things for the overall game economy. We have the modern and wild league formats and their rewards coming to the game next year, right? Early next year. So this is essentially doubling the rewards available for players in the game. And in many cases, players may want to double their time spent playing ranked battles. Now, instead of just playing a standard gold ranked battle session for daily loot chests, they may do both a modern format at maybe the gold level, and they might do a wild format at the silver level, for example. So again, new ways to play and enjoy the game. And then we have SPS ranked battle rewards being added to the mix, which is even more incentive to play because now in the future you'll be able to not only get DEC rewards but also SPS rewards and being staking your SPS on other players or yourself in the game. So again, adding a new aspect or a new flavor to the play in the game. We have the much anticipated land coming to the game hopefully next year soon. So that would include management of the land, essentially farming of assets from your lands, renting of lands, and minting of cards, item, and spells from the lands. Uh, trying to get totems in the game as rewards to add to your lands. These are all aspects of the game that will increase, certainly playtime in the game and also possibly your enjoyment of the game. And we also have potentially on the horizon boss battles, or essentially group play, PvE type play against boss or large monsters within the game. So again, a new mode, new rewards, new things to do in the game to continue to increase its footprint and its attraction to new players. So when you think about Splinterlands, don't just think about it as ranked battles, right? There's certainly much more to the game, and I'd be curious to understand what your thoughts are. Where do you spend most of your time in the game? What aspect of the game is most enjoyable for you? Leave your comments in the video description below, and I hope to see you in the game. Until next time, keep stacking those stats.
That's entertainment.